Hi neighbor, I'm Batista, and my friends call me Bunny. And it's been a little bit, but I'm back. This is episode 89, Rant and Reflection. Just celebrated my 8th year here at the atelier, and although I'm surprised to have made it this far, it really seems like it hasn't been much at all.
My glasses off as well. Maybe this hat too.
I got no complaints. I'm grateful that every day I get up and get into my car, and with my super big grin driving through the streets, people probably just think I'm really simple, or maybe I'm not headed to work, but to pick up my lottery winnings. Coming to the studio every day is a dream for me, and as cluttered and crazy as it might appear to you, everything is in its perfect place and just right for me. I have the kind of supplies that if a student is without something, I can help them fulfill their destiny. The thing that I've learned over the years and improved upon is how to make this the best figure place, maybe around. I've got the pages on the website of the 10 Commandments, and I'm really surprised no one else has picked that up, because I'm trying to make a place that isn't just best for the participants, but also where we literally elevate and raise the importance of our muse and models, treating them wonderful and paying them great. We reward the constancy and consistency with the multi-passes, which I hope, buy 9, get 1 free, makes it cheap enough to incentivize you. And this year, we're adding that if you get up to 100, you get 10 more free. So, in doing that many, you get 10 free sessions for what you paid for. But if you make it that far, we're going to give you 10 more for free, which is worth more than $250 here. So we want to reward that consistency, because really I need you to come here more often in order for you to get better at art. And for you to get better at art is, quite frankly, the best advertising the atelier has. Bar none. People see your work, they say, where do you go? And hopefully they come and join us, because it's more like a family than anything else, and our creative community is growing here. The other part of the rant is the things that I see people doing time and time again, and trying to reverse engineer how to create a route for you to learn. Because really, there's an aspect to learning and doing fine arts that can only be done by doing it yourself. And I know that the light goes off sometimes. I'll teach something for months and months and months, and I'm hoping that my voice is living inside your ear, and then one day when you're doing it elsewhere or at home, the light goes off. I try to speak with an umbrella, seeing all the different levels that people come in with. You come into art with your entire life experience. This goes back to what the value of art is. I think the value of art is what anyone is willing to pay for it. So, we've all seen the banana with the duct tape, and you and I both know that in Canada, 78 cents a pound for bananas, and duct tape is $5.99 a roll. We both know that the banana taped to the wall is not worth $6 million. But if the market can bear that, you got to think about that for your art. I'm against people putting the price of their work beside it, because the average person who looks at art looks at a number and makes a judgment call. And that judgment of what something is worth is really only related to what someone's going to pay for it. Someone who maybe has a lot of resources or not, who sees the value in supporting the time before, the career that it takes, the thousands of hours practicing making the mark before it's made on the work, realize that the value of something is a lifelong process. For me, a painting is never finished. Many are signed, many are sold, But I don't know that I've ever actually like completed something because I feel like they're birthed and they have a life of their own. In fact, painting itself is kind of like when you have that raw canvas, it's like that, it's like your baby. And then you rub some tone in it and you get your e-prematura or your drawing down, and you know, you can see it there. It's starting to have a personality, but it's still that awkward toddler. Maybe you do a color block in, you smash in a background, and like a person growing up, the artwork starts to go through a maturity of its own. Layers and mistakes are like childhood bruises and bumps as you learn. And being that I'm only the age that I'm at with the experience that I have, I don't think my work has become the wise old man yet that I would like it to become. In fact, in previous years, I've painted over older work, and some of the works that are in my studio right now are pieces that I've been developing for 10 or 15 years. And I feel like, you know, AI can't replace the amount of lifetime and time. I consider my work incredibly spiritual. I read a lot about esoteric things, and I'm interested in conveying philosophical ideas in my work. But I would also say that my work is very literal, in that I read things and try to put in symbols that I've read about and how they interact. And so I don't just create things through observation, or I mean, that's my practice here at the studio, but my work is built upon many layers of meaning, because I think that in terms of competing with AI, other artists, a TV, your telephone, your phone screen is always blinking at you, you need to create a work that can trap someone for at least 2 minutes. By having a lot of symbols and meanings, it gives someone time to ponder thoughtfully as to what the artist was intending. Now that's just my work. I think there's a lot of different types of works and being. I just like to layer it deeply, and I hope that that gives it more life over a period of time, because it is so steeped in what it's trying to become. There's something to be said for all other types. I'm just speaking from my experience, what I'm trying to achieve in my work. The other thing is the atelier is an observational, skills-based school. The reason why it has to be observational and skills-based is because, contrary to popular belief, I can't read minds. And if people are doing abstract, they'll often take the easy answer of, that's what I meant to do. That kind of drives me crazy because it's a back out. It's like you weren't able to draw hands, so you hid them. Or you weren't able to draw hands, so you're a contemporary artist, so you write the word hand, or you trace them and make it childlike. So rather than trying to make the illusion on a two-dimensional surface, there's this cop-out story or this long artist statement explaining the theory behind why they don't need to be able to draw hands, when any person can learn the skill. For me, the art skill, I often use the metaphor in the class, is similar to learning piano or music, or in my case, I'm learning jiu-jitsu. So there's this beginner mind that comes up, and I'm getting beat up every week, and I keep showing up to get beaten up with regularity. We here in the classroom are not actually in competition with each other, because no one is on an equal level. People come in with different skills and are trying to achieve different things, be it that they're painting landscape or painting visions that they've seen, or just trying to learn more about the figure and how light falls over the body. In jiu-jitsu, everyone is working out their place. Really, you're battling yourself. You're battling yourself in art, and you're battling yourself in jiu-jitsu. And so another thing about, I'm learning piano, and at first I need to learn where the notes are. Some of us have been doing art for 15 to 20 years, and when I see the work, and I have to see everyone's work a lot, I'm building up this long-term progression of seeing how your drawings are going, or how your paintings are, how your palette is forming. In order to be most helpful, I need to see a large amount, because you can just knock it out of the park, walk out and be like, I'm done. And next week, once again, hiding the hands. And so it takes a long time to see that. And some people have been working at it for a long time, and yet I don't think you've done a bark drawing or could properly shade a sphere. And so sometimes we really need to go back and see what our fundamentals are, because the human mind wants to attach to the detail. Like, I sit down, I see the model, I'm already thinking about their hair and their fingernails and those tattoos. When I do short pose, I take my glasses off because I'm fairly blind enough that I see blobs. And what's great about that for me is the model is inspiration. Years ago when I opened the atelier, I was still under the impression that I was trying to be the best Xerox copy machine that I could be. And my figure drawings were looking frumpy. I was drawing them the way that I saw, like the folds were there. I wasn't editing for beauty. And time and time again, I'd be like, here, model, here's a drawing I'll give you. One model even said that I gave them body dysmorphia. So my drawings were not how an artist is supposed to see. It was still being too much of what's in front of me. And it's our job to create the world in a way that we wish we would see it. More beautiful, highlighting the things that we are most interested in. The place that you put your time in. So if you're studying the knee, you should be drawing the knee more. That thus will have more detail, sharper edges, higher contrast, and therefore the person is gonna look at that part more. We have people who really like to draw feet here, and I like to joke about it a lot. But also, we don't see them all the time, so that might be something that they're studying. There are lots of pet peeves that I have in drawing, and I've found over the years that for some reason, having a little rant like this and saying the things that I don't like is more helpful than saying the things that I do like for some reason. It's like when you give someone praise, you know, it's like water on a duck's back. Sometimes they're like, yeah, I know. Or, of course, I'm not going to believe you. My mind instantly tells me you're full of shit. Over the years, I've also noticed that, you know, if I say, like, some of my pet peeves are when people draw these popsicle necks and they forget to enhance the sternocleidomastoid. A lot of people do kind of avoid this whole area. It's complicated. They also will simplify curves, making a woman just the hourglass shape and getting away from how the obliques are folding and how there's more turns in the hips. And so we can easily recognize the simplicity that's female, that's a woman. But to someone who knows anatomy, I'm just like, that's not even in the right place. The goal of learning and pushing through can be very uncomfortable. We need to challenge ourselves by going in the places that are uncomfortable. In the last newsletter, I wrote about fluidity and flexibility because I had a eureka moment in the bathtub thinking about some paintings in particular. I was trying to figure out how to solve back what is the same thing that I see people doing. What is the habit that needs unlearning? And it had a lot to do with the flow of paint for the painters. But having the right mediums also adds flexibility to the way we work and flexibility to our paint surface for the oil painters who do the fat over lean. That led me, while in the bathtub, to be thinking about this fluidity, the flow of paint, but also our flexibility in terms of how we're working. And I understand that Atelier Artista is a classroom. So people automatically, through years of programming, think that they have a seat. And last Friday I had everyone change their seat. And I think that was really useful because it is very good to continuously study from a seat, because the mind sees what is novel and new and different. And so if we get used to a place where the lighting is, and the body changes form, we build up an encyclopedic knowledge of lighting from that place. But this is also a drop-in place, and so if that same student comes on a Wednesday, and there's someone from the Wednesday class who thinks that's their place, they're kind of hooped. And so it's good to move our positions and change and become uncomfortable. Oh, look, the light decided to put itself out. I'm going to take that as a message that this rant, for now, is long enough. I'm hoping to revamp this YouTube again. In the last year, I posted one video. I don't know, man. Between that and newsletters, sometimes it's worse than artist block. I feel like Sisyphus rolling a rock. Just I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I'm doing this now just to get it out of the way, and hopefully there'll be a lot more. I have big plans, but you know, I can only run out one every little while because it has to still fit with the scheduling and having a life. That's an important part. I notice I'm a little bit of a workaholic, but I mean, let's be serious. My work is not digging ditches. It's fine art. So the body is just slouching a little bit, getting what we call the shrimp. But you know, there's no calluses on these hands, so I could probably push it a little harder. Anyways, I want to thank you for tuning in to this little rant. I'm going to say subscribe, leave comments, do anything to help this algorithm. I need a little motivation that you are actually watching this. You know, it's made for my mom and maybe for my funeral, but it's also a little bit of time that I want to just give to share with you, and I hope it's useful. So, that's it. 8 years of Atelier Batista, many more to come. I just want to say ciao for now. Thanks for watching.